What's up, moviegoers? Welcome to the Markio Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony. Now, on today's episode, I will be discussing the Screen Actors Guild Awards. The nominees were announced in December 2019, and the award ceremony is taking place on January 19th, 2020 on TNT and TBS, which is a simultaneous broadcast. Now, as you know, the SAG and Golden Globes do things very differently, so you might hear some names that you've already heard in the Golden Globes episode, but there are a lot of surprises this year for the SAG Awards, so let's get right to it. For Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Leading Role, the nominees are Christian Bale, Ford Ferrari; Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood; Adam Driver, Marriage Story; Taron Egerton, Rocketman; and Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. Now, if you did not know, and let me clear things up before I pick my winners, the SAG Awards are given by your peers in the entertainment industry. So the actor or actress who wins their award, they were nominated by their peers, and when they win, they were voted by their peers. Now, if I had to pick who would take this award, I would have to say that Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood takes it. He did a great job as Rick Dalton. He should have won for another Tarantino movie he was a part of, which was Django Unchained. And I'll be surprised if anybody else gets in this category because the SAG Awards are very interesting and unique, so to speak. The actor that we don't see in this category is Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, who I thought would be nominated in this category for a SAG Award, but he was not. So I'll be very surprised who wins it in this category. So my pick for performance by a male actor in a leading role is Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, up next, we have Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role. The nominees are Cynthia Erivo for Harriet; Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story; Lupita Nyong'o for Us; Charlize Theron for Bombshell; and Renee Zellweger for Judy. The surprise in this category, ladies and gentlemen, is Lupita Nyong'o for Us. She was not nominated for a Golden Globe for her role in this movie, so I'm very surprised to see her get nominated for a SAG Award. I mean, she did a fantastic job in that role and in that movie, but it's very surprising to see her among all these other greats in this category. Now, if I had to pick who would win in this category, I would say Renee Zellweger for Judy. Renee Zellweger is my surefire to win in this category and sweep the award season because she did a tremendous job as Judy Garland. Of course, there's some controversy about how this movie is portrayed, but I'll leave it to the viewers and for you out there to go see it and just to see how well Renee Zellweger did as Judy. She captured her performance very well, and she actually does look like her with the makeup and wardrobe that is done in the movie. It's a very heartfelt movie, and it's a great drama, so if you haven't seen it, do so, because you'll see how well Renee Zellweger did. Up next, we have Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Supporting Role. Now, as I stated, that this category for award season would be out of this world and mind-blowing, and it just keeps getting better. And there is a surprise entry in this category for the SAG Awards this year. We have Jamie Foxx for Just Mercy; Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood; Al Pacino for The Irishman; Joe Pesci for The Irishman; and Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Jamie Foxx, ladies and gentlemen, is a surprise entry in this category. His performance in the movie was great, don't get me wrong, but I would say that this slot that he's in should have been for someone else. But if I had to choose who would win male actor in a supporting role, I would have to say Joe Pesci for The Irishman as Russell Bufalino. He's literally the main character in that movie. Not Robert De Niro, not Al Pacino, nor is anybody else the main character. And I'm very surprised he's in a supporting role because his role wasn't a supporting role. He was basically the main lead. In my eyes, he was. He carried that movie from start to finish, and he's in it almost throughout the 3.5 hours of that Scorsese movie. I mean, could it get any better than what he has done in his career? Joe Pesci comes out of retirement and is automatically nominated for awards for The Irishman during award season. It's incredible, and he's had an incredible resume of movies, and this just goes to show how well he is so diverse. Now, up next, we have Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Laura Dern for Marriage Story; Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit; Nicole Kidman, Bombshell; Jennifer Lopez, Hustlers; and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. And yes, you did hear correctly, Scarlett Johansson is nominated for a supporting role, as well as a female actor in a leading role. Now, for a supporting role, she's nominated for Jojo Rabbit, and for a leading role, she's nominated for Marriage Story. While it would be great to see her win twice in one night, I just don't see that happening this year for her. Don't get me wrong, she has been in great movies in 2019, and 2019 was literally the year of Scarlett Johansson. as is going to be 2020 with Black Widow coming out in May for Marvel. But if I had to choose who would win in this category, I would say Laura Dern for Marriage Story. She did a great job in that role, and she was my pick for the Golden Globes, so I'm sticking with Laura Dern for Marriage Story. Up next, we have Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. This category is sort of like the Best Picture for the Oscars, but this time it's for the SAG Awards. Now, the nominees are Bombshell, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. There are a few movies that I don't see on here. Mainly one of them is 1917 by Sam Mendes. Great war movie, great directing, great storytelling. And it should have been in here. But if I had to choose who would win for Best Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture, I'm going to go with Parasite. It's my number one movie of 2019, and I've said it many times. If you haven't seen this movie, do so, because when it sweeps award season for every major category, you'll know why, and you'll want to check it out. And finally, we have Outstanding Performance by a Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture. Now, to me, this category is fantastic in many ways because we finally acknowledge the work that stunt people do in movies. And the nominees in this category are Avengers Endgame, Ford Ferrari, The Irishman, Joker, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, if I had to pick the surefire winner in this category, it's going to be Avengers Endgame. How can it not be? It was the biggest movie of 2019. And will it get nominated for major awards? No. But for categories like this, it will win because it's just a fan favorite. And I see the SAG Awards and the peers in Hollywood giving it to the stunt ensemble for Avengers Endgame. Now, every year during the SAG Awards, there is always a SAG Lifetime Achievement Award given out. And this year's recipient of that award is Robert De Niro. And we all know his resume for acting and his wide range of roles he's done. And he's well deserving of this Lifetime Achievement Award because he's done amazing things for Hollywood. He's a well-decorated actor with a lot of accolades to his credit. So it's really good to see Robert De Niro getting the 2019 SAG Lifetime Achievement Award. Well, moviegoers, that does it for today's episode. Now, if you want to follow Markio Podcast and Markio Productions, I will leave a link in the description box below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And click that notification bell next to the subscribe button. This way you know when the shows are dropping and when the episodes will be airing. I'm your host, Anthony, and you've been listening to the Markio Podcast.